Not many better than Van Dijk and Konate. They've just changed it, and it's going to come back, and Liverpool score!
Hello, it's now time for me to bring to you another interesting edition of the Sports Cruise on your media channel. My name is Josiah. And on this show, we actually bring to you the most exciting and then also trending news in the world of sports. It was quite a busy weekend across Europe. Quite a lot happened. One of the biggest games actually was at the Etihad, where Slot made history. Mohamed Salah also made history for Liverpool. It was a big game actually, but Liverpool wouldn't see it as a big game. Yes, it was a big game for them, but they ended up stretching their lead at the top of the Premier League to 11 points. But in Italy, something devastating and tragic happened when Fiorentina were in action. They actually lost that game to Hellas Verona, but one of their players, Moise Kean, had a concussion injury and had to be rushed to the hospital. But the report we're hearing is that he's fine, but we'll be looking at what actually happened because for the second time in, let's say, 2 months, a Fiorentina player had to be rushed to the hospital. You know, the first one had to be Eduardo Bove, who suffered a cardiac arrest of some sort in their game last month against Inter Milan. That forced the game to be rescheduled, and this time it was Moise Kean. But fortunately and luckily, if you're a football fan and then a Fiorentina fan, then both players are okay, especially Moise Kean, who suffered a head injury. So there's many more we have for you. I have for you actually on the Sports Cruise. But don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just turn on the notification button, and then also you can follow our media sports channel across the various social media platforms. So we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, and then also X. So let's start off with our stories. Let's go deeper into the Premier League. That game at the Etihad, it was a blockbuster actually. Manchester City against Liverpool. So Slot heading into that game was aiming to become the first ever manager to do the double over Pep Guardiola. Can you just imagine? Pep Guardiola has been in coaching for over 15 years and no coach, not even a single coach, has been able to do the double over him. But this time Pep asked all the other managers to hold his beer. He became the first ever manager, and even to make it more exciting, the first time of asking, he was able to get a double over Pep. So after that 2-0 win over Manchester City in the first leg at the Anfield, he replicated that same scoreline, 2-0 at the Etihad, to complete the double over Pep. So Pep was without his marksman, that's Erling Haaland, in the game, after Haaland also missed that game away to Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League. So Omar Mamouche and Phil Foden were tasked to lead the lines for Manchester City. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get the result. It just couldn't work their way, despite the fact that they had Liverpool. So Slot, yeah, two bad managers, if I should put it. You would be thinking, yeah, it was a battle of the bad managers. But then one bad manager managed to, get a win over another bad manager. So Slot are doing the double over Pep Guardiola, which means that after Arsenal slipped on Saturday against West Ham, how awful and how disappointing can Arsenal be? So they allowed Liverpool to extend league. To some extent, is the best manager. Then you could say that Liverpool are runaway champions. Opta actually is giving Liverpool a 91.67 chance of winning the league to that game because one player is actually shattering and breaking all records in Premier League. For me personally, I think it's the greatest ever individual season we've seen from a player in the history of English football. And guess who? It's none other than the Egyptian king, Mohamed Salah. So Mohamed Salah, in that game against Manchester City at Etihad, equaled Lionel Messi's long-standing record. So that record was actually set by Lionel Messi in the 2014-15 season. So 11 years on, Mo Salah becomes the second player to have scored and assisted in 11 games in the European top 5. 11 more games for Liverpool to play. You'd be thinking that Mo Salah could outrightly hold that record after Lionel Messi did it in the 2014-15 season, scoring and assisting in 11 league games, and that still remains a record, but only for Mo Salah to equal it. And there's another record as well for Mohamed Salah. This guy doesn't just stop setting records. He became the outright top assister in the season for Liverpool in the Premier League. So there was a record by Steve McManaman that's in the 90s. So he had 15 assists for Liverpool in the Premier League, and that remained a record until Mo Salah's assist to Shobo's life for Liverpool's second goal, which means that Mo Salah has set up his Liverpool teammates 16 times already this season, and that also is a Liverpool record. Can you imagine? And guess what? The numbers keep increasing. Mo Salah has 50 goals and assists in 38 games in all competitions. This guy is just setting the Premier League on fire. So Mohamed Salah keeps shattering the records. So 50 goals and assists in the Premier League, or in all competitions actually. But he also became just the first player ever to be involved in 40 or more Premier League goals in 2 separate seasons. No one has ever done it. No one ever did it. And now he's into the conversation, as being the greatest ever to play in the Premier League. For that one, I can tell. There's Alan Shearer, there's Ryan Giggs, who won the Premier League a record 13 times. There's Wayne Rooney, there's Thierry Henry. The list goes on and on and on. But I don't know where you place Mo Salah. For me, yeah, I could say in the top 3, based on what he's doing currently, the guy deserves to be in the top 3. Yes, I'll give him the shout at, the top 3 ever or greatest ever to play in the Premier League. I don't know which diet order though. I don't know how you'd want to put it. But 50 goals and assists in all competitions in only 38 games, it's quite mind-blowing for the Egyptian king. And we are asking, do you think Liverpool should give him, an improved contract? 600,000 cedis. Did I say cedis? 600,000 euros. The guy is asking for just some, it's not that much. It could make him the highest earning player in the Premier League, but 600,000 for a player who is shattering records shouldn't be that much. And he could also be the first ever player in the history of the Premier League to score 30 plus goals and assist 20 plus goals. So Thierry Henry is a record holder now, 20 goals, 20 assists, or 20 plus goals and assists, which is a record. Lionel Messi equaled it for PSG not long ago, about 3 or 4 seasons ago. Now Mo Salah is aiming for something different. The first ever player to score more than 30 league goals and then also assist more than that. Now let's move on. Let's still stay in the Premier League because Mo Salah is breaking records, but he's not the only one doing it. There is also another player. There is a Swede actually who plays for Newcastle United, and that's Alexander Isak. So Alexander Isak became just the 8th player or the 8th fastest player to 50 Premier League goals. So he was only behind Erling Haaland. There's Mo Salah on the list. There's Ruud van Nistelrooy and a couple more players. But guess what? Alexander Isak was quick to score 50 Premier League goals earlier than Didier Drogba, Wayne Rooney, Eric Cantona, Thierry Henry, Sergio Kun Aguero, Harry Kane. Listen to the names I'm mentioning. It means that Isak could also say perhaps Arsenal would want to do it if only they want to win the league. Now let's move to Italy. There's sad news coming from Italy after during a game between Hellas Verona and then it was an injury to the head, and then after he just he just fainted. He got himself in a very, very nasty collision with a Hellas Verona player, and then after he was he was attended to and we all felt he was okay, then he collapsed the game. So the game had to be halted for him to be sent for some emergency treatment or care. And the good news is that he is good. So Moise Kean is good, and it's not just the first time we're hearing a Fiorentina player involved in such going treatment. But for Fiorentina, I don't really know what's happening. That for the last 2 months, as far as player, actually the good news we are hearing is that Moise Kean is fine. He's receiving treatment, and head injury is fine after being sent to the hospital for treatment. So we are all happy. If you're a football fan, then definitely you are happy. There's quite a lot happening in Spain, Barcelona, but it was quite interesting in Spain because both Barcelona, Real Madrid won over the weekend. So Barcelona got themselves a 2-0 win over Las Palmas, and then Real Madrid also got themselves a 2-0 win over Girona at home, which means that they are still obviously after a resounding 2-0 win over Girona, the fans could only boo the Madrid players, which to me doesn't make any sense, but they only know what they want over there. Atletico Madrid also maintained their momentum. We've spoken about quite a lot. Mo Salah, Pep Guardiola, Ancelotti, and then also Alexander Isak, all making waves in the English Premier League. But we'll leave the comment section open, like I said. You can leave your comment section over there. Which team impressed you the most? And do you think it's about time Pep Guardiola considered just stepping aside from football a bit? You think he needs to take a sabbatical after all what's happening to Manchester City and himself? It was a divorce at first, getting trashed by Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League, and then now a manager doing the double over Pep Guardiola for the first time in his professional career as a manager. It's never been done. It's actually unprecedented. But Ancelotti and his Liverpool charges just managed to do it.